I will talk about VeChain Kit, which is one of our latest products and releases. Let me paste you this URL in the chat. So meanwhile, you can also just take a look in your own PC. So what is this? So basically, this is a kit like we have dApp kit, right? It's a kit that comes out with a easy connection, dApp kit, right? You just you have a button, you click login, it shows you your wallets, you enter, and then you have a model, right? So this VeChain kit is actually a sort of dApp kit on steroids, okay? Why? Because it's not, first of all, it has social login, right? So you click login, you don't see only connect wallet, but you also see like connect with your social, with Google and email and stuff like that. So that is one first thing. We leverage private ecosystem to create like a sort of unified ecosystem. So if I log in to Better and then I go on another website and I log into that one, I will share my wallet, right? It's not like right now, for example, we have Cleanify, Green Card, and Mugshot. They all have such a login, but the wallet that is created is always different on each application. So with this one, we actually have unified that, okay? And we have one unique wallet for each user that is shared across all the applications, let's say, and we will see how it's done. And then it's also like has a lot of developers tools. Okay, you have a lot of hooks to read data from the blockchain. You have a lot of hooks you have the hook to send transaction to the blockchain easily. You just need to provide the clauses. You have basically actually a lot of stuff. We will see it later. So there is a lot of dev tools, right, for the developers to make it easier for anyone to just implement, just create an application on VeChain, basically. And there are also many other features coming soon. And why it's called VeChain Kit and not dApp Kit, let's say, just because, and it was really hard for us understand like, okay, what name, where do we put this? And we wanted actually to put it inside dApp Kit, okay, but this kit at the moment works only with React and Next.js, because you will see there is some styling inside. We use React query for give to the user the ability to cache some requests, API requests, and to have like being able to handle like his loading, his fetching, like all those statuses when you do a request. So basically you can have a nice UI, right? Show loadings and stuff like that. So it wasn't while dAppKit instead, for example, it's built with Lit. It doesn't have those things, and you can use the dAppKit on Vue.js, Angular, wherever. So first of all, we already had this kind of big difference from the start, right? We initially put it into dAppKit. Let's say we wanted to make it like dAppKit version 3. So that was another problem, which was that there was already adoption version 1, dAppKit version 1. There was one in work in progress for version 2. And now we had this version 3, and everything in that big repository was just a mess. So we had to put everything outside and say like, okay, this is just VeChain Kit, okay, for easier to make it more easily comprehensible. Who built that? Let's say that, yeah, in the last months, I was kind of the main one that was committing code. There was Victor and Fabio helping me. But actually, this is a sort of open source kind of project. And when I say open, like, even if I was the only one committing maybe code for the majority of the time, the code that I was committing to this repository actually comes from a lot of work that we did on Better, on Cleanify. We had the same hooks repeated. We had a lot of shared, a lot of resources that could be reused, right? So, for example, there is in this kit, there is the work of Eric, of Davide, of Darren, of Mario. There are the inputs of Vinit, Dahi, Neil, and other people, because before actually arriving to this solution, there was a lot of discussion on like, okay, what is this? How do we want to make it, right? So it's yeah, there is like the kudos should go to everyone for this. So, and we would like to also maintain it a sort of open source spirit. So even if we will have a team, which is the DevTool squad that will work on this, we actually would like everyone to, if they find a bug or if they want a feature or they want to update something, they can come or collaborate, they can come. And there is, if you go to GitHub here, you will find a long list of issues with some tags like good first issue, help wanted, stuff like that. So you can just pick one and work on it. And so the why, I already kind of explained it, the why we needed that, because first of all, we needed social login. Like it was one of our priorities from quite a few months now. And we need to implement that. But once we implemented social login, we need to give to the user the ability to, I don't know, export his, backup his wallet and other options, right? So, and then we understood that, okay, if we are trying to do something to build some sort of Web2 experience, okay, we need to also make an easy onboarding for the users, right? We need to allow them to show them features like handling the assets, sending the assets, changing your other web domain, right? To not see the address, but a nicer nickname. And all those kind of things that just makes it easy for a person to kind of understand what happens, right? But the second point was also like to make an easy onboarding for devs. So if you're a dev and you want to build an app on VeChain, every time, if just for showing the better value of your wallet, right, you will need to create a lot of code, write a lot of code. And if you know how to code on VeChain, that's great. But if you don't, you need to go read a lot of documentation, understanding all the features of VeChain, stuff like that. So it, and we saw it during the last years with hackathons that it wasn't that easy. Okay, and even when we write documentations, we think, okay, this is the best documentation ever, right? It's just super clear, but maybe because we are kind of biased, right? Because we know the tools, so it seems easy for us, but for other people, sometimes it's difficult. So this was done to allow someone to just arrive, install this package and already have all the wallet management of the user that don't need to care about the assets, sending, showing things and stuff like that. Okay, just have everything out of the box. And not only, you will have also components out of the box. You will have transaction models, TOS, and other type of components that you can reuse in your application. You will have hooks to read, as I was saying before, right? So it will be super easy, let's say. So this is already public, okay? It was released. We are on version 1.2.5, something like that. So you can already start to try and use it. If you have an app that you're playing with, you could already start see if you can integrate this and how it works. New features will come. There are already a lot of apps that are implementing it. The most important one is better, because of course, like when you put this into better, the other apps will follow, right? So so yeah, it's already in production. And before, like today, I will just show you a very quick demo around, very fast. That don't want to focus too much on individual features, because you can take your time, you can look into it. There is a lot of resources, so you have the documentation here. You can go, you can look on how to install it, how to migrate from dAppKit. If you are using dAppKit, you can read about the connection types, which is what I would like to talk mainly today. Fee delegation, smart accounts, embedded wallets, signing, hooks, and everything. Okay, so you have plenty of resources. And we will see that also inside this app. you will also have some snippets and examples. So first of all, let's look how it looks like, okay? And then we'll talk about the connection. So you can connect with your wallet as before. So it's the same thing, right? It's the app kit basically under the hood. Or you can connect with social. When connected with social, if an application, if they don't have their own Privy app, and we'll see what Privy is and how to set up, let's say, if examples of those applications are like Markshot, Cleanify, EVRN, Green Card, they already have social login, they already have their own app, right? So they just have a login with Google button, right? And you're just inside. Here, what we introduced actually is login with VeChain. So this button here, right? To have this unified ecosystem across all the applications. So when you arrive to a website, you can click login with VeChain and you will have all the social login available methods, right? Google, Twitter, we will add many more. But also, and it's not here, but we can see it later. I think I need to set up it here. You can also connect with wallet. So you could connect with Privy, okay? You could connect with your MetaMask wallet, with everything. So if you have one identity on VeChain, you can just seamlessly log in any, if you have an identity on Ethereum, like MetaMask, you can just log in with MetaMask basically on VeChain, right? So let's just log in with Google first, which is kind of the main point, like social login. So once we are in, this is the model, okay? This is kind of the main thing that you will see. You see that I already have set a bad domain in here, but let's just go. You have this, as I said, this are dApp kit on steroids, right? So on dApp kit, you go there, you have your image and you have the address and that's it. Here you have all this information, like you have your balances, your balances, your assets. You can go here. I can take and I don't know, I can send something to myself, stuff like that. Right? Yeah, I can send something to myself. In this case, I just can transfer and manage my assets. I can receive money. This is not a big deal, right? But you can look at other apps in the ecosystem. This is a feature similar to the one we have on VeWorld. You can add a shortcut here to more easily access it. We have a notification center where you can go and you can see like, hey, welcome to VeChain, stuff like that. We can push some notifications based on different scenarios, okay, by different conditions. Then what else? We have here, you can change your domain name, as I was mentioning before. So you can go there and just write, I won't do this now, but just write, go there, claim your VeWorld.vet subdomain. You can export your backup your wallet, okay? Because it's social login, right? So someone is creating a wallet for you, okay, and securing it. In this case, this wallet, this thing is secured. This wallet is secured by VeChain and Privy because we logged in with VeChain, right? And VeChain is using Privy as a partner to provide those embedded wallets. We call them like this because they are wallets that are given out to us, right? They are kind of embedded in this. So yeah, you can add more login methods to it, right? So you have Google, Passkey, you could say like, hey, I want to link as a login method to the same account. I also want to be able to log in with Twitter, which could increase, for example, I don't know, the probability of not losing the access to this wallet, because if you have many socials attached to it, it's more probable that you want to lose the access. But at the same time, you open up to more attack vectors, right? Because now it's like you will, if someone hacks just one of your login methods, you could have issues, right? And there is also like fact section with some general questions about VeChain to understand better VeChain. It supports multi-language, so you can change the language of the model. You can pass a prop from your front end and change it also for there. And lastly, there is also like white, dark and light theme. You can customize it to, however you want. So if you go down here, you will see that you can just there are hooks, right, provided, so you can create your own custom UI. You don't need to actually use the components from the model. You can create your own custom UI, so you can add whatever button on your website you click, and it will open this thing, right? So you say, yeah, okay, I want to choose a bad domain, right? Or you will say, I want to backup, and so on. You just play with it. You will see also here, like I change the language, right? So I can change it in my website, but also if I open the model, you see everything, the language change it as well. There are some customizations you can do also. Like, first of all, you can just, everything that is built in this website is built using the hook, okay? So those informations that you see, this is like a component coming from the hook, which is the wallet button, right? But you can build it in your way, because all this information that you see here, you can get it from the hook. You can say like, okay, give me the domain name, give me the address, give me the image. And also this image here is provided by the hook. And we are working on a nice feature where you can change your profile image, and since the wallet is shared, right? So it's it's shared across all the applications. You will have the same image like when you connect on VBetterDAO, on SolarWise, and so on, which is pretty cool. But yeah, as I say, like you can create your own UI around this. Here are just some examples about some provided variants by the kit, right? And here you will be able to find like also some examples. So for example, I could say, yeah, just do a test transaction. This is with a toast. So you see it's here, or with a model. And this you can also import it from the kit. Okay, you can say like, hey, I want the transaction model. So you don't need to build it again. You just use the hooks, and that's it. So if you want to see an example, just click here. We have a project, next template, which is very basic with just full of examples, right? So if you say like, hey, I would like to learn more about transactions, you can, how to transact, you just go here, and this is the snippet of the code, right? You import transaction model, whatever, the hook to send a transaction. You can see here how it is done, and that's it. You have basically your code. Same thing for signing. So I can sign typed data, signing message, same thing. And also you can read data, right? You can, as I said, you can import hooks, like for example, getting the better balance. You just import the hook from here, and then your code, you say like, okay, get better balance of this specific address. Or you could use like hooks for VBetterDAO. You say like, okay, give me the current round ID of VBetterDAO and give me when the next round will start for VeBetterDAO, right? So for you, like building, right, an X2Earn app, but just in general, a VeChain app is just, you will just need to know like, okay, what do I need? Is this hook available in here? Nice, I will just use it. Or if it's not available, like, okay, can I push some like, can I create a pull request adding this hook, right? Because we are following a standard, so everyone can just create a pull request. As I said, we had tons of hooks on Better and on Cleanify, because the team that worked on Better on Cleanify, me, David, and Eric, we shared a lot of code, right? So it was, we really saw that every time we were creating a new application, we had to redefine everything from start, all the hooks, everything. And we were always using the same, not only us, but also from the community, we saw that everyone is kind of using the same way of doing something. So we just say like, okay, we really need to make this a sort of standard, right? So it's here, everyone can use it, and across all the applications, you have the same, not the same style, but the same way of writing code and using it. So this is kind of it. As I said, just go around, take a look, and so on. But what I would like to talk today is like, okay, those connections types, because now we say like connect with login, and we saw this thing here, right? So there are three types of connections. So the first one is a connection with Privy, and this one that you saw here is actually a connection with Privy, okay? Because I created an app on Privy, and to create one, you just go there is a button, create app, and you're good to go. What you will need is just basically the app ID and the client ID, and you're good to go. Basically, this private type of connection, I added it here so you can actually see how you can backup wallets and stuff like that, but it allows you also some other cool things. So first of all, how you recognize a private connection, because you will see a model like this one inside that pops out. And you will be also able to backup your embedded wallet, okay? Because this application is an allowed origin of your app ID, of your app on Privy. So Privy says like, okay, you are actually, this is secure for you to back up your wallet and do other stuff. And also, how can you recognize it is that, for example, when you do transactions, you can disable prompts to the user. So, for example, if you are sending, you say, I want to send some better, okay? You don't need to actually show, as we do on VeWorld extension and mobile, like, hey, you need to confirm this, okay? Because we are the owners of the app. We know that we won't do anything bad with the user funds, and the user just, we can still show on the screen a very nice Web2 kind of confirmation page, right? Like you write a description, you put buttons, are you sure? Yes, no, okay. But after that, you don't need to actually sign anything with your wallet if you want, okay? But I just recommend this because it's just a better way of a better user experience. So this is kind of how you can recognize this type of connection. And okay, so this is one. Another one is private cross-app. Okay, what does it mean? Private cross-app means like we have Cleanify, we have VeChain, and all those applications that are using Privy. But me as a developer that I'm implementing this kit, I don't want to create my own app. Okay, I don't want to, because then you also need to pay, because based on the amount of users, there is money to give to Privy to secure your wallet and to give you all those resources. Okay, so to see this other type of connection, we can go to the Smart Accounts Factory, and we will touch also this topic in a second. So in here, we will also see like how does it look. Okay, so in here, first of all, you see the login with VeChain. So at the first look is the same, right? It's the same login with VeChain, so no confusion. But when I click here, it actually opens a new window. Okay, and actually I was already logged in, so let me log out. It will open a new window. So first here, it opens a model. Okay, here it opens actually a window. Why it opens a window? Because everyone could implement this login with VeChain or login with Cleanify, right? But we don't know if we can trust that website, right? So opening a new window, a new iframe, allows some protections against like injecting JavaScript code and stuff like that. And it's like when it's actually very similar, this thing here, as when we connect with VeWorld extension or the wallet, right? You click and bam, the extension shows you something. You click, bam, it opens VeWorld, something inside that you need to sign. So here is the same, it uses the same logic, okay? But the connection, the resulting wallet will be the same, okay? So in here I connect with my with Google, and it will ask you like, okay, Rustank 14, like my my Gmail account, like this website, okay, would like to would like to view your VeChain wallet address, balance, assets, and would like also to request you transactions, signing things, okay? But it will not be able to take any action without your consent. Okay, so this is very important for security. This is my wallet, and select, yeah, I approve. So it's a very similar experience, right, with that we have with extension and with VeWorld. And we are in, and you can see that it's the same wallet I was having here, right? So if I log in here with my Google, you see it's done.vworld.vet, and here is done.vworld.vet. So I can have the same account on all the websites where this kit is implemented. And if you are a dApp owner, you don't need to pay for Privy, right? You just use this login with VeChain that intrinsically is basically a login with your social, right? And also here you can see like ecosystem. So apart from VeChain, you can do the same thing with Cleanify. So if you have a wallet on Cleanify, like we can just log in with the wallet I have on my Cleanify application, right? And I will have this address and so on. Okay, so what? Let me just no, not with Cleanify. I want to log in again with VeChain. So in both cases, in both scenarios, when I log in with social, what happens is that Privy, as I said, will create a wallet for me. So if I go here to users and I just pick some user, let's pick me, you will see that Privy will create an embedded wallet. This embedded wallet is secured by Privy, okay? And it's linked to a specific account, a social account. As I said, you can link many. So if, for example, I take Victor Viviano, sorry, I'm sharing your personal information, but there are two, like there is a passkey and an email, right? So you can attach more. Yeah, but we have a problem, right? The problem is that this is actually this is a wallet, and Privy, if I go to my docs, and Privy Privy itself has an SDK, right, that you can use. So if you go here, you have an SDK, different type of SDKs you can use with Privy, and they export as well some methods like sign transaction, sign message, and so on, right? But they are signing it in the Ethereum way. And we cannot broadcast those transactions to our own network because they are just encoded differently and it won't work, okay? So to solve this compatibility issue, what we had to do, we had to put a smart account in the middle. A smart account is basically just a smart contract that can hold assets and that can perform actions on, talk with other, actions. So an action is like communicate with another smart contract, like calling VBetterDAO and cast a vote. That's a sort of action, right? And every smart account has an owner, okay? And the owner of that smart account is the embedded wallet that was generated here, okay? So, but actually on VeChain, every wallet, even if you connect with VeWorld, okay, every address can have a smart account, and the address of the smart account is deterministic, okay? So, for example, you see here, it's deployed. Okay, but if you connect to this website, right, you will see, it's probable that you will see here deployed no. What does it mean? It means that we already know the address where your smart account will be deployed, and only you can actually deploy something at that address because we are using your public key to rehash it and do that kind of thing. So we can know that there is your place. And when we deploy your smart account, we deploy it exactly there, exactly to that address, okay? So what this helped us to do is to actually do not deploy a smart account on every login, okay? So like I logged in, I don't need to deploy the smart account because maybe the user just is looking around and then says like, yeah, I don't care, okay? So you don't need to spend money for just the user browsing your website. This will actually be deployed on the first time you do something on chain. So the first time you go and you want to cast your vote, the first time you want to claim something. So you are actively broadcasting a transaction. We are saying like, oh, okay, you don't have your smart account is not deployed, so let's deploy it. Okay. And for example, like this is cool because, for example, you could allow the login on your website. And for example, mugshot, right? I'm thinking of this example. When you do an action, you don't use your, like, it's mugshot just sends you money to a specific address, right? You are not actively doing anything with your wallet. So for those kind of scenarios, we never need to even deploy the smart account because we are just sending money to an address. And even if the smart account, the smart contract was not deployed, you can send money there. You can fill that address with whatever asset you want. And when you will deploy the smart account, those assets will still be there, right? So yeah, that's pretty cool. So here, if you go here, you can see that we have already a lot of applications that are supporting those smart accounts because this is not something new that we created today, but it's like from when we introduced it the first time this on Cleanify in August, I think it was, right? So to create a better standard and to make it more easy to yeah, I'm missing the words, but just to like everyone needs to use the same smart contract factory. That this factory is just a way to deploy the smart account and to deploy that to that specific address, as I was saying, right? So to be sure that we are not having conflicts and stuff like that, everyone should use the same factory, okay? And all those projects are using the same simple account, smart accounts factory. So, and you can see that we already have 30,000 smart wallet, smart accounts deployed, okay? And this number is growing something like 1,000 per day. It's mainly thanks to Mugshot and Green Card that they have a lot of users and traction, and they have social login, right? So, but yeah, this is kind of today. This is the number of smart accounts that we have. Okay, so those are the two connection methods, right? And I would like just to show you some other difference. So, for example, here I want to send some better, okay? So I say, yeah, I want to send this amount. I want to send it to Dan. And yeah, one thing about just about this warning. So currently OceanX, for some reason, does not support deposits when they come from smart contracts, okay? They want some sort of direct transfer. So like if you send funds directly to OceanX, not only with the smart account, just with whatever smart contract in general, the deposit, like they won't see the deposit, right? So here, like if you're using this, just first, it's better to create a VeWorld wallet, send the money there, and then to OceanX. But this is a problem just with OceanX because I know of any more exchanges, okay, that they actually support this. So I think just OceanX was built quite a few years ago, so I'm not sure about if they are upgrading their code and stuff like that. So yeah, this is just one thing that you need to know. Okay, so for example, here I connected with Privy, I click confirm, right? And you see, I'm not asked to do anything else. Under the hood, I'm talking with Privy. I'm saying like sign this transaction. Okay, I'm broadcasting it to the network, and it's done. So if I go here, I can see that I sent 0.00.1 to dan.vet. Okay. Instead, here, if I do the same thing from this, you will see that the flow is a bit different. Okay, so I click confirm, and you see this time actually I need to confirm. It's similar to VeWorld extension and VeWorld mobile. I need to confirm. Now we are working with Privy to make this a bit nicer, but yeah, there is a need from the user to input it. After I confirm it, that I can just do my transaction. And I can do the same with signing messages and everything else. So this is kind of how you can recognize when you're connected directly with Privy or directly with cross-app. So why an app owner, as I said before, should decide like, hey, I would like to actually have my own app on Privy. because that way, for example, here, if the user goes here, he cannot backup his wallet. He needs to go, and I need to add a button here, like he needs to go to the website where the original website. So in this case, to VeChain, to the VeChain Kit, or if I connected with if I connected with Cleanify, go to Cleanify, okay, to backup these things. So this is one reason. So you give a kind of a better user experience, maybe for your user. And the second thing is that always for better user experience, of course, you don't need to ask confirmation models, which is not a small thing, in my opinion, right? If you want the best Web2 experience, then you don't want to show to the user like signing things that maybe he doesn't understand, right? You just want to create your own custom UI. Okay, so those are the two types. So let me just log out from here and just connect also with my VeWorld, just to show that everything works fine as well. So you see identification, this app wants to connect. Yes, let's connect. So here we have also this thing here, like when we add new features, it's kind of shown in the home page, right? So it's like, oh, there is something new. Let me go here and click it. Okay. So let's say VeChain demo. I want to claim this VeWorld domain. I click, it will pop up. You see, it opens yeah, because I'm not delegating this. Let me just choose an account. Okay. And it just works, right? You can do whatever you were doing previously, but now you just have more ways of doing it, and you see like it changed. Yeah, we need to add some dots here in the middle to handle very long domain names, but it's okay. So yeah, this one thing about message signing, there is one sort of incompatibility, right? Because when you ask to sign a message on VeWorld, we are not actually using traditional way of signing where you just provide a string and the wallet signs it. We have this thing like where you can pass a type, identification or agreement, and then you can pass the message, right? But if you use the hook, if you use sign, and here there is the code example. So if you use, yeah, I want to sign message, right? It will, the hook, the kit itself will just understand like, hey, it's connected with this one or with this one. And the same goes for signing transactions. But why I wanted to talk about signing, because in particular, there is a difference, right? Because if you're connected with Privy and you have an embedded wallet, your account that you see here is actually your smart account. It's not your embedded wallet, okay? Your identity is the smart account. So, of course, you cannot sign a message with a smart contract. You can sign a message with your private keys, right? So, when you need to identify the user, keep in mind that what you want to do is, in case the user is connected with social login, okay, you want to check like, okay, is the address that signed this message the owner of this smart account? Okay, you need to add this extra logic in your in whatever code you're writing to check this. Okay, so is he actually the owner of the smart account? So I'm not checking if who signed this message, if yeah, it's the same address that is connected. I'm actually, it's, you have this if else kind of condition that you need to check. But everything is written in the documentation. And yeah, so those are the three connection types: Privy, cross-app, and wallet. This one here that you see here, so the most used login model, let's say, will be this one. So on basically every application, I think you will see this type of login with a connect wallet that will pop up your VeWorld. With login with VeChain, it will be a cross-app login, okay, and it will pop up that window and you will log in. So that will be the most common used type of login variant. But for example, on VBetterDAO, we'll maybe customize it a bit. So we want to allow also ecosystem, right? So if you have already an app, you have a wallet and another app, and you want to cast your vote, you just log in with this one. But if you have your own application, okay, and now I don't actually have any demo to show you that, but if you have your own Privy app, you can even add on top of this button here, you can add your custom login with Google button. You can add another input like login with email. So this login model is actually pretty customizable, and we can make it even more customizable in the next weeks and months, okay? This is just a starting point. But yeah, this is kind of, yeah, we are trying to support every type of connection and allow the developer to just customize it in a way that it makes sense with the application that you're building and with the style of the application that you're building. So yeah, that's it. I wanted to keep it a bit short. And yeah, that's kind of it. Just try it out, as I say, play with it. There is a lot of stuff I know, like not maybe concept to learn, like about smart accounts, about embedded wallets, right? But I would recommend also go and play a bit with Privy just to understand what Privy is. So for example, here you can select your login options. You can choose email, SMS, external wallets, passkey in here. You can go here and you can choose, you have many, okay, like Telegram, but for some they require some tokens that you go and you create, you have some OAuth IDs, client secrets and stuff like that, but you can add many. What else? Ecosystem is the one that we were looking before, right? So I can allow my app to connect. I can allow, I don't know, there was OpenSea here, right? So OpenSea, they have a wallet. We could say like, hey, I want to allow users that use OpenSea to log into my application, right? Or I would like to allow, you see here there is Cleanify, Green Card, VeChain, and whatever. So this ecosystem of Privy is growing and growing. More apps are being like devs are using always more. So we will see maybe even new ones or whatever. You can add terms and policies. You can add recovery methods. Okay, so you could say like, hey, set up iCloud, backup your private key, like your wallet on Apple, Google, whatever. You could require that on the wallet creation, so it will just pop up a model to the user. What you could do, you could also add MFA. So every time you do a transaction, you could say like, hey, I require the user to use passkey. I require the user to use authenticator, SMS. So pretty cool stuff. You can check your users and stuff like that. And if you have a normal, let's say Web2 application, you don't even know about crypto VeChain at all, and you already have your user base, you could even import your users, right? You have their email. You can just create your app on Privy and upload a CSV with all the emails of everyone, and now all your users that you already have in your app that had a traditional login, right? Now all of them, they also have a wallet, they have a smart account. And if you want to add also the component of the wallet, I don't have one open. If you want to also add like all these assets and that stuff, now your users also have a way to manage their assets, right? So it should be really straightforward for any enterprise company or like any Web2 startup or application that they want to use VBetterDAO, for example. They just go there and they say like, oh, I need to support blockchain. How do I do that? You just need to, you create your private application, right? Or you can even talk with us, VeChain, and we could add those users in the VeChain application. But I don't know, that it's something we should discuss, right? Because do we want that to, I don't know, but that could be another option, right? So now the users of the app, yeah, they have a wallet, they can manage the assets, they can send the assets, and we are, as I said, like this is really work in progress, not in the sense that it's not ready. As I said, it's already out there. People are already using and integrating it. So all the changes that we will do from now on, we will try to make as less breaking changes as possible, and always trying to notify the devs about the new releases and stuff like that. But we want to really add more features like activity tab, swap inside there. As I was talking about changing the profile image, viewing your NFTs. We now have another limitation, which is with smart accounts, we cannot do multi-close transactions, and every transaction is divided, like a multi-close transaction is divided into multiple transactions. So this is something that we are working to fix. But there are also like we want to allow people to send assets, and instead of like using fee delegation, where the app owners, which is the current state of the art, is that every app owner need to create a fee delegation service, okay, and delegate the social login transactions, okay. But what we want to do, we actually want to let the user pay for those transactions, and to pay with Better, with VET, VTHO, whatever token they have, right? So yeah, we have quite a long pipeline of things we would like to add. And yeah, that's it. You can find everything you need here. There are tons of documentation, both documentation, yeah, as in on Gitbook, but also if you go on NPM, there is like it's explained how to import it, and yeah, that's it. If you have we have some time, because I don't know if it's like we have another 30 minutes or not. If you don't have 30 minutes, okay, but if we have the time and you want to ask some question, yeah, that go for it.
Dan, I have no questions. It's more like one thing I want to point out is, I mean, we have, I think, a DevRel starting this week or next week. I can't remember. Please, I think he needs to be all over it. And then at some point where you feel confident, he needs to go with, I mean, this needs to get out, doing YouTube videos, better documentation, and marketing campaigns as well. For our Be Better DAO apps first, but also for anyone else building on VeChain, because this for helps Be Better DAO, but goes beyond, in my view.
Yeah.
So that just those things, bear this in mind. Now I'll introduce the DevRel next week, and then we take it from there. He will work with you on the documentation, tutorials, things like that, pipeline as well, and maybe talking to the developer community what you need to do. Maybe can help, with some of the features that you may need to prioritize. And then marketing needs to be aware, because we need to be a bit, to push this out there. That's all. It's incredible. Like, wow.
Yeah, I think it's great, really. I just
Thanks.
wanted to say, no, really fantastic. And also it helps to secure the ecosystem, because at the moment, if, for example, one of the apps is down, the front end of one of the apps is down, the users can go to another app and do the operations. And also it could be helpful to have like to deploy a web app like the one, this one of example, like to be official, not to be the official way for the users to manage all their wallets or all their stuff. So to make it official,
Yeah,
it's related
to this thing, this app here, the intention is this app here, where it's kind of an entry point to the kit. It should allow you to manage that, in my opinion. But also VeBetterDAO should be like the place where you can go there and you can manage. If you want to create a third one, a more kind of which like this is kind of funny website, right? It's a bit gamey and stuff like that. So maybe someone could not take it seriously. So if we want to create a more even serious VeChain website where you do that, yes, we could. But at the moment, like we can have more, like it's not, by private team, it's not recommended to have multiple websites sharing this, right? But if they are in our own internal and we trust, and there are only 3 or 2 apps and we trust them, we can do that, right? So we can say like, okay, go to VBetterDAO to back up your wallet, or go to VeChain, or go to this VeChain Kit.
But you could make it open to any VeChain.org site, right?
Yeah, at the moment, it's open
Yeah.
to any VeChain.org site, yes.
Yeah.
It's a pity. It's a bit a pity. I think we should discuss with Privy about the flow of the ecosystem, because it would be great if for a Web2 user, if you can log in by your email, and that's the first step, and then all the options are presented to you. So, for example, if they have an account with Green Card, they log in with a mail and with the email, and then it says, oh, we found this account on Green Card. Do you want to use this one? Because at the moment you have to open all the apps. You have to find the apps in which you logged in before, and maybe this could be confusing.
So this is kind of because we had to make it retro-compatible, right? Because we started to use social login already 4 or 5 months ago. So if, let's say, this was day one, maybe no app would actually create their own Privy application, right? So we wouldn't have this kind of problem. But since, there are already apps using Privy and you have multiple accounts, this thing exists. So it could maybe be, I can get what you're saying. There is for sure an option where you can link accounts. Okay, so you could say, I want to link my Green Card account to VeChain. So actually, like, it kind of creates, but I experimented a bit with this at the beginning, but didn't finish it to experiment with it. But the other thing is, like we have like Privy team, they are very excited to work with us on this. And once we sign everything, all the papers, I'm pretty sure that we can start asking them like, hey guys, we want to make the user experience even better. Can we work together to do this or to do that other thing? Currently, this is what, like, day one, this is it. We can also get our feedbacks and let's see what works, what don't. But I agree with you with that cross-app. But you have to keep in mind also that when you connect with cross-app, you actually need to be care of. So you need to take those some security concerns seriously, because everyone could just use this, right? Everyone could say like, hey, log in with VeChain, and then you log in and you don't know what they do internally, right? So there is some, and also like having 2 apps communicating, like, because in this case, I know you know me, but I'm not sure if just from a general point of view, you could just say like, hey, you logged in with Green Card, so you can do whatever. I don't know, like, but we should explore that for sure. I agree with you. Like, we should, like, this is already great in my opinion, right? Because you have social login and it's already something nice.
Absolutely.
But we should push on everything. Like, if we see something like, hey, this user flow could be better, we should try and make it better by talking also with Privy, because we rely on Privy, right? So like, we can do as much as we can until a certain point. After that, it's like Privy, so we need to ask them to add features. Coleman,
yes.
please. Yeah.
Just on NPM, the VeChain Kit is coming up. The recommendation there is as an unpopular package that has network access and it's got a high CV and its dependencies. Is there anything we can do to improve that rating?
Yes. Absolutely. So first of all, we have a lot of like if you look at the dependencies in the VeChain Kit, there are quite a few because of course we are like even dAppKit is a dependency of this kit. We to use cross-app connection, we had to use VM, Rainbow Kit, and Rainbow Kit and VM has their own dependencies. So it would be nice if some expert could go and look again in the dependency list, understand like what can be done better, because at some point when we released this the first time and other devs started to try it in their own application, errors started to pop up like with peer dependency issues, like all that kind of stuff. So to kind of fix it, I started adding it in the list of dependencies and aligning and adding peer dependencies. So maybe some of it, like, yeah, I would really love to have someone look into that and say like, hey, you know what, we could maybe remove those three dependency, and we could make this just a dev dependency. This could be a peer dependency. I don't know. So yes, something can be done on that side, Coleman. But
Okay,
I'm
so
not
that's something
sure
for
about
innovation time. Yeah.
yeah, also if you
Cool.
want. But I'm just
Nice.
not sure about the extent of it, because
Sure.
it's true that we can do this, but we are still using a lot of packages. So we still had a lot of dependencies, and this is kind of the Node.js ecosystem. You have a dependency on a dependency, and that dependency has 10 dependencies. So you kind of arrive in a place where you don't want to be. But yeah.
Nice. Thanks.
Alec?
Hey, Dan. Great
Hi.
work. I was going to say, I know that a lot of the apps are planning to move to native, and we've got lots of new apps coming in that are native. Is there native support on this right now, or is there a plan to?
So this is only supported on React and Next.js. But the cool thing, let's say, is that if you need it, so there is some people that is working on native, okay? Like they're building a native app. I'm not sure if they will create also a package, native package because one thing is like you say I need smart accounts and social login in my app. Another thing is like I need to make this native, right?
Yeah.
But the cool thing about all of this is that as you know, like we already we're using this technology, right? On Green Card, Cleanify, and so on. So everything that is built here, you can build it in your own way by following the rules, right?
Okay.
So if you follow the rules, you can make your custom sort of implementation, not of the like sending assets. Of course, you will need to create your function, write your functions, no? But to be able to have this social login and be part of this unified ecosystem, then you can do it by your own. And the Privy itself, it has like you can use it on Expo, Swift, Unity, React, right? So it has a bit of support. And I don't know, it's something that app by app, like if you have many requests, we should maybe look into it. Like it's the same, like this is only on works on React on and Next.js. So if we receive no demand of having it for Angular, for example, we don't do it, right? If you see that a lot of people is coming and they are using Angular and they say like, hey, can we have this for Angular? Then like, okay, guys, how do we do that, right? So if you see a lot of maybe need for a native, we should say like, okay, what can we do on native? Because maybe on native what we could do is, okay, you don't have all this model, right? But you just have a package that you install and it allows you, it has the send transaction hook, sign message, it checks your connectivity, right? So maybe a small portion of this that you just handle the login without having the model and all the hooks.
Okay, thanks, Dan.
Okay, so if I don't know if there isn't any other question, we have 20 minutes back. Otherwise, you can ask. Yeah, let's go to lunch. Cheers, everyone.
Awesome, Dan.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan, for your
Cheers.
presentation.
Thank you.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dan.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you, Dan. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.